An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action. It's Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears are in for 6. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off play action. Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On the handoff, this is Howard, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On third down, Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this.
Let's go. Red, up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on first. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on second down, Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Throwing again is Newton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Come on, gotta go, gotta go.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's go. Right, 80. Go.
On second down, Trubisky. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. The Bears on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now out come the Steelers. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, Newton. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Looking to throw on second down. Newton. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Flushed out. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken. Whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And likely just out of field goal range. Could be Hail Mary time.
And haven't we seen in recent years that the Hail Mary seems to be more successful in the NFL than before?
Absolutely we have. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll try to sweep with Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gun. Do something.
To throw on 2nd down. Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
58, right over there. Yeah. That's right now. You're not ready. Do something.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38, the 20, 10, 5, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2.
Come on, gotta go.
They'll try and run it up the middle. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Hey, get right there.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And that one.
Somebody call for the queen. tryna move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning, I had me some rest by the morning.